And welcome to Stack Hunters. Dan Williamson with Bradley Stalder. We are here underway at the corner of League number 4 for the Pros versus Joes. And this is the Moonshine League. We got the third pick, Dan. We've already set up a review a little bit, and Chris McCaffrey goes off the board to Josh Hayes at the 101. Not surprising. McCaffrey is, There
we go. Everything is proceeded according to plan. All right, we going running back or we going Tyreek here? What's your flavor?
I think let's go Bijan. If you want, it's either Bijan or Tyreek. So,
yeah, I'm fine either way. We're gonna have great options at the 2-3 turn. So whatever we do here is gonna be good with me.
Okay. Well, do you want to move up Bijan to the top of the queue or just select him?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll just select him here. There we go. Bijan Robinson on the team.
Let's go. Welcome. Yeah. We are Team Bijan. Let's go. 2024, Bijan Robinson. It was a disappointing season last year, but all full steam ahead for the Atlanta Falcons. Dan and I have been pounding the table for Bijan Robinson this offseason. We've been there's been debate of whether it's Bijan or Breece Hall. Theo Greminger had me on the podcast of full first class fantasy with Billy, and everyone was pretty much in favor of Bijan over Breece Hall. But Dan,
tumbling Tyreek, man, all the way
tumbling Tyreek to the 6th spot. Yes. What's your reaction to that?
If I was in the 6th hole, my reaction would be even better. But happy for him, no doubt about it.
I think the surprising pick was Jamar Chase over Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I know a lot of people are, there's plenty of Jamar Chase fans out there who think this is going to be the year for him. So it's never surprising when I see that. But, usually you'll see Tyreek go before either one of Bijan or Breece. And Bradley, may I say, you and I are about to hit this draft like a 300-pound Bills fan hits a folding table off the top of an RV. Let's go!
Let's go! We got Bijan, and then the world is at our fingertips. Bijan Robinson, the 103, can easily pay off to the 101. And so we see a couple surprises here, Dan. I think at the 109, Jonathan Taylor. And at the 110, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's surprising to me. Look, I know that people are enamored by Jahmyr Gibbs. He was a player that I got in the Pros versus Joes last year. That was a nice little value. I think I got him in round 4. That was fine. Jonathan Taylor at the 109, though, I can't.
Jeff Manns is always his own man.
He is his own man. Jonathan Taylor is my RB10 in projections for this type of format, and my 34th overall player. So he's a player that I'm not in on there, Dan.
Yeah, and Danny Mueller in the 12 hole has to be doing cartwheels here because he's going to get a couple of really nice players. Yep, and he went Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, and Danny. I tweeted this out earlier, but Danny has played in the Pros versus Joes 7 times, which surprisingly is not a record for a Joe, but it's close to it. But he is in 2nd place in all-time points in this competition. But there are 15 people who have played the Pros versus Joes more times than him, and Danny still has more points than them. So
yeah, well, that's a heck of a start. Double tapping Wilson and Nacua. Jeez, oh, Pete's.
Yeah, exactly. And handed a gift right there at the 12 hole. And Danny did not disappoint. He took full advantage.
Yeah. We're looking here at I'm going to throw some players in the queue.
Yep.
There's one, obviously, he probably won't come back to us, but I'm surprised he isn't off the board already. That is, since it's recording, it's Sam Laporta. I'm surprised Laporta hasn't come off the board yet. At this point, Laporta is my number 9 player overall. I know I've gone on plenty of podcasts talking about him, but even with regression for the touchdowns, I'm still very, very high on Laporta. We could look at John and who is that? John and Gordy going with a double tapping Detroit. Yep. That's not surprising.
Nope, not at all. But again, this is this is really in a lot of ways just a standalone league. Yes. So you don't have to try to push the correlations and stacking too much. The reason you do it is because, if a team is scoring well, you want to have as many players as possible from that team. So obviously it makes sense to stack players from good offenses. I would not be stacking players from bad offenses in this thing, though.
No, we do not want to stack players from bad offenses. That's, sometimes overlooked, Dan. We say that out loud, but it's necessary that we say things like that. Yes, we like stacking, but if it's bad players, then it's just compounding it being worse. Doesn't give you an opportunity to win there. So we see, 4 straight tight ends go off the board. We see the tight end run go, and it's going and going.
Is this going to be another purple drank league? That's what I want to know.
We'll find out if we get 5, because I think it was 5 tight ends in the first 2 rounds for each of the first 3 leagues of this. So if you missed out, Dan and I did a review of each of those 3 leagues on the previous Stack Hunters podcast. So make sure you're checking that out on the podcast forum and also on YouTube, because we talked about some of the strategies, some of the things that we noticed, team builds that we liked, team builds that perhaps we were steering clear of, and some values that we were identifying. So, there are going to be some nice players that come back around to us.
Yes, definitely. And I gotta put one in the queue who has fallen a bit.
Interesting.
All right, there went Pitts. That was early.
We did get 5 tight ends in that round.
Right. And we're probably going to see a 6 before this round is over, because I'm sure. And the nice thing is Brad and I can talk freely, which is unusual for us, because normally we're doing these things live. But since we're just recording, we can actually talk about player names.
Yes.
So, Dalton Kincaid, I think, is going to go off before the end of the round. As a matter of fact, if he makes it to us, I think he's. Kincaid is somebody I think is a really good choice here. Who are some choices you like, Bradley?
I'm a big Achane guy. Achane is a player. Maybe we can push him.
I'm wondering if we can't push him around. It might come back to bite us, but
Achane or Olave, like.
I have seen both of those come around to our spot in the 3rd.
So do you want one or both, or Kincaid?
I would say, honestly, I think.
Which one comes back around most likely?
I think probably Achane comes back around. If we want Olave, we could grab him. Otherwise, we take Kincaid.
All right. Let's just go Kincaid. Let's get our tight end. I'm fine with that.
No. I hit the wrong button.
No!
Holy crap.
No.
I clicked on Kincaid and I clicked draft before it switched over. My God.
Oh, no. Well, Derrick Henry, where is he at on my list?
That's not a bad pick, though. Oh, my God. I can't believe I did that.
We went.
I was trying to hustle. We let the clock get down too far. That's the problem.
Derrick Henry is my player 29 in this format. So, little loss of value. We definitely have to look Kincaid, Olave, or Achane. Well, we're hoping Kincaid or Olave come back to us then.
Right. And if
Achane is now off the board, I think we're done with running back for a long time with that Derrick Henry. We're okay to pivot. It's okay, Dan.
But if Achane comes back and neither Olave or Kincaid do, I would actually say we just take Achane and then just sit there and hammer wide receivers for like a dozen rounds.
Sounds great. Sounds like a plan.
All right, Waddle went off. That's good news for us.
It's very good news.
And there went Kyron. That's more good news for us.
Give us.
All right, we're getting one of these three. We got.
Come on, baby, let's go.
We got three guys in our queue. We're getting one of those three.
We're getting to Kincaid, Olave, or Devon Achane. So
yes,
that's going to look pretty good. Obviously, we were thinking about Kincaid there.
Right.
I really do like Olave relative. Like in my projections, the projections have Olave significantly higher, but there's been a lot of positive buzz about Kincaid. Yeah.
I don't mind going Olave here since we didn't get a wide receiver earlier. We can put it together at tight end if we need to. So I'm fine with Olave being our pick if he makes it one more pick.
What is the next tier of tight end? Evan Ingram? Maybe Ingram comes back to us. You don't think so?
Zero chance, Bradley. I hate to burst your bubble, but I would say zero chance. I would say there's a better chance we catch like Ferguson in the 5th or something like that. Because I just don't think he's going to make it. I've never seen Ingram make it out of the 3rd in the past couple weeks.
Who knows? Well, we are on the clock.
All right.
Kincaid goes off. Olave is our guy.
So it's Olave. All right. I have Chris Olave showing in my thing now, so I'm going to click Olave.
Yes.
There we go.
Woo. All right. All of that excitement for Chris Olave.
Hey, and
Evan
we were thinking
Ingram
about
goes right off the board next.
Yeah, we were thinking about taking Olave at the 210, so getting him at the 303. Very, very happy about that. Yeah, not too surprised. The tight ends they've been a flying in these pros versus Joes. We're already 7 tight ends deep, and we're only 28 picks deep in the draft. So 1 out of every 4 picks has been a tight end.
That's wild. Well, if you like drafting on FFPC, we have a word from our sponsors.
Hey, why do we partner with the FFPC? Because they have the widest variety of fantasy football formats, and it's the easiest place to find all types of fantasy football contests in the world. What if you want to play for high stakes? Well, they have a $6 million prize pool with their Fantasy Players Championship. They also have way too early best ball leagues that start in February and Dynasty leagues. They have the closest thing to a liquid market for orphans that there is in all of Dynasty. And the FFPC has sponsored us for half a decade because we are actually delivering information that can help fantasy gamers, and they're generating so much interest and bringing in so many new users, casual users even. The FFPC creates a unique experience where you can both compete against the best and make money. Use promo code UNDERWORLD to get $25 off your first team. $25 off your first team at the FFPC with promo code UNDERWORLD. Go get it!
Welcome back, everyone, to League number 4, Pros versus Joes. This is the Moonshine League. Dan Williamson and I are in the 3-hole and competing against some of the best pros in the industry, but also some of the strongest Joes here. Darren has not giving us any mercy here. We've got Danny Mueller, for instance, in the 12 spot, getting Garrett Wilson and Puka Nacua at that 1-2 turn. There were 5 tight ends who went off in round number 2, just like all of the other leagues. And then Evan Ingram, Dalton Kincaid as 6 and 7 in round 3. Dan and I have started with robust running back, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, and then in round 3 went Chris Olave. It was a little dramatic, though, Dan. I love Derrick Henry this year. I think he can score a ton of touchdowns. But it was not the pick that we initially actually wanted.
No, it wasn't, but that's all right. I do think that Henry is a good pick. I would take him anywhere at the 2-3 turn. Typically, I've been kind of waiting, especially if I'm in a spot like the 3-hole here, because I have seen him go around to the 3rd round at the 3-hole reasonably often. I mean, not all the time, certainly not even half the time, but often enough to make it a gamble worth taking. So it's it makes it fun, and I'm surprised at how far Devon Achane fell. That was a gift straight in the lap of JJ Zacharias in there.
Oh yeah, JJ's probably doing a little dance wherever he's streaming from.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the best ball tournament, which is kind of the closest analog to this particular league, he basically he goes more often in the 2nd round than the 3rd round, and if he goes in 3rd, he almost always goes early in the 3rd. It's rare that you see him go at like the 305, 306, 307.
Certainly. The build we're trying to go for now is going to be focused on wide receiver pretty much for the rest of the rounds until we get to a certain tier that it makes sense for us to take other pieces, or unless value falls to us. I think that's the pathway for us, Dan.
So it's wide receiver from now until like round 14, right?
Pretty much, at least for the next 6 rounds, something like that. We'll see who.
Is that a little extreme, Bradley? Am I a little extreme there?
Not extreme, maybe not extreme, but there's going to be a lot of PPR value. You have to remember this is, for those who are not familiar with the FFPC, the scoring is full point PPR and it's tight end premium. It explains why these tight ends go off much earlier. Laporta is typically going at between like pick 28 and 31 on most other sites that are not in tight end premium, but in the tight end premium formats, much more valuable. So it's same with Kelsey, McBride, Mandrews, Pitts. We're going to take Kincaid, but instead, Derrick Henry was the selection there at the 210, and Henry could feast. Like, what is the pathway for Derrick Henry to be top 3? I think the pathway is clear for that.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I'm very bullish on that pick. I think, like I say, anytime in the late 2nd, early 3rd, that's a great pick, and it really frees us up to just sit here and hammer wide receivers, almost as long as we want. I was being a little facetious by saying till round 14, but honestly, if quarterbacks and tight ends weren't a thing, we probably could. And I'm looking up just to see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, there was one other draft when we had in the Pros versus Joes where 8 tight ends went off in the first 3 rounds. So we're at about the same point as that one.
That makes sense. And for reference, Derrick Henry, on average over the last 3 days, has been the 22nd player going off the board at RB8. So you typically behind Kyron Williams. So yeah, just for what it's worth for our listeners and viewers. Okay. So we see Michael Pittman.
How soon until the first quarterback goes off, Bradley?
What was that, Dan?
How soon until the first quarterback goes off here?
It's real talk. It might be hard for us to pass up a Josh Allen at this spot. Oh, but
all right,
Allen
Josh Allen just went.
Okay. I was about to say.
There is some sanity going on here. So
yes, there is. But when it comes to quarterback, in my projections, I have Josh Allen as the 23rd overall player, but you have to scroll down to 50th overall. So like the 4 or 5 turn to get to the quarterback 2 in my projections for this type of format. It's just such a significant gap between what Josh Allen can do and what the rest of the quarterback position offers, because it's in my projections, it's Lamar Jackson at QB2, and then Dak Prescott at QB3, Jalen Hurts at QB4. So that's not how it's going off. I think Dak is a nice value wherever you're getting him. But we've got some wide receivers that are going to command a lot of target share and are going to be very, very valuable. So I think that, unless we do get major value, we could look at, a Hurts at the 5.3 possibly, but that's not something we want to necessarily push.
Yeah, that's not the most desirable of builds. Diggs goes off here. I was really hoping Diggs would make it to us, but the wide receiver fever is very high right now in this draft room.
Yeah, that's tough for our build where we were, but I think I'd rather go Amari Cooper or George Pitt. Well, how did Amari Cooper's probably the one I want to go with.
Okay.
That's my vote.
I know you're not big on Zay Flowers, but I think, we don't have to worry about it. It's Cooper.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so Amari Cooper makes a ton of sense for us here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the button.
There we go. Amari Cooper is my 38th overall projected player, and my wide receiver 19. We get him at wide receiver 26. Just the spike weeks. We're playing best ball here, and Amari Cooper, he give you zeros, but when he hits, it's massive, massive hits. So,
right.
Another player that we can look at a little bit later is T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tap T. Higgins? I want to put him in the queue.
Yeah,
because he's not coming back to us. Either that or Christian Kirk. Those two.
Pickens, you like though, right?
Where is Pickens in the
Pickens is still there. And also Jake Ferguson.
Pickens, Higgins, or Christian Kirk are my 3 wide receiver proposals.
Okay. I'm less excited about Kirk for the opposite reason why you are excited about Amari Cooper. I do like Ferguson. I think he presents. I think Ferguson presents a nice value at tight end here. He's basically like George Kittle, but with 10% shaved off the spikes. But he gives you a solid base at tight end. He only had 7 weeks that were not tight end 1 weeks last year, which is pretty awesome. I would say either him or Pickens would be my picks. Your thoughts, Bradley?
I would prefer Pickens if we're going here.
Pickens?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pickens it is. I don't mind Pickens at all.
Once again, Spike Kings, Pickens wins down the field. Olave, we're planning on Clint Kubiak manufacturing space for Olave down the field. Amari Cooper, George Pickens. These are downfield threats. That's why I'm not as big of a fan of Zay Flowers. Like, he wins close to the line of scrimmage. He is more shifty. He relies on a lot more dynamism closer to, his ADOT is very low.
Yep.
So, that's it's just how he is as a player, and I'd rather take, bigger spike weeks. I know there are more manufactured touches for a player like Zay Flowers, but there's not been a ton of value left to us. This has been a tough room.
It has been a tough room, but structurally we are looking very good. And that's the thing. When you're in a tough room, you want to lean harder on your structure, not start panicking and going off of a quality structure. Like going 2 running backs and then 3 wide receivers is great structure. You can throw a tight end in there if you want, but with those two running backs, there's really, there's no reason to panic at quarterback, because especially for best ball, you don't have to have those elite quarterbacks. You can put together a couple of later round quarterbacks and mimic the production of an elite quarterback. So I don't feel like we have to push that at all. Tight end, now that Ferguson's off the board, I think tight end has to run for a while before I'm ready to pick another one. And we're set at running back, so it's just going to be a matter of just smashing wide receivers here for a while, unless a really, really juicy value presents itself.
Yeah, we'll just keep smashing the wide receivers. There's a lot of good ones that you have queued up: Tank Dell, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk at this spot. George Pickens in my rankings is my wide receiver 25, 45th overall in rankings. So we're getting a good value, I think, in George Pickens. My projections for him are about 120 targets, 72 receptions, 1,100 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But we also know that his standard deviation is very high. I have him at about a 9-point standard deviation in PPR, which is, for reference, like Devonta Smith is like 7.1. So he can just get a little bit higher, when they're averaging about the same. Yeah. I'm glad we're not, tapping running back at this spot. I feel like this is, we don't talk about like a dead zone, but it feels like these are just replacement level, not going to win a ton at running back with the players who are here right now. Rashad White should be okay. James Cook should be okay, but the pathway for them to be like RB5, RB4 is going to be a lot more difficult than, let's say, a George Pickens to, instead of being wide receiver 27, to be wide receiver 12.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, I'm happy with how this is, turning out in terms of the running backs, and as we'll keep a pulse on the tight ends and the quarterbacks. We've seen in this draft maybe a couple quarterback targets that we could have later, like round 9, round 10. I think that's a fine spot, especially since 4 have gone off. So a third of the league doesn't need a quarterback and probably won't be tapping it.
Right. Yep. Exactly. All right. Wide receivers continuing to run.
Whew. The thirst is strong.
Everyone wants a little yellow in their life, or a lot of yellow.
Yeah. Right now, the Loserville LLC has 4 wide receivers. Yep. Looks like Danny has 3, Marie has 3, John and Gordy have 3. Oh, Danny has his 4th with Hollywood Brown there.
Don't be surprised if he takes 5th here.
Look, with the way wide receiver has been going, and there's a couple real nice ones out there, Dan. I'm going to add a few more to the queue. Just so that it's on the radar here. Okay, I don't know why it's not loading. Is it loading on your side?
Perhaps.
That didn't load for me.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a minute.
It's okay. It seems like my internet is slow tonight anyway.
Yeah, I don't have anything that's loaded from you. But yeah, the only players that are showing up are the ones I put in the queue. But all right. We can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I put Chris Godwin in there.
Okay.
And Rashee Rice in there too.
You'll have to push me hard on Rice.
Well, he is my projected 68th player. So that would be, a value in terms of that.
How many games are you projecting for a suspension?
I don't think he gets suspended this year.
I do.
Another player that hasn't gone off has maybe. Oh, this is I put Dallas Goedert in the queue. Goddard is a player that is my tight end 9 in projection.
Okay. I prefer Freiermuth over Goddard by a pretty good amount. I think Freiermuth is going to get a lot of targets, but we'll talk about it. We don't I don't know.
But I like those top 2 wide receivers significantly more than any of the other players.
Ridley and Allen.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen.
Yep. I'm definitely hoping those make it to us.
Yeah, people got to start clicking running back sometime, right? Or these quarterbacks. There's some nice quarterback value coming around.
Yeah.
Where is Anthony Richardson on my projections? Richardson, because he hasn't been gone off yet, is my 67th player. So it's about the right spot, but we want value, Dan. We don't want to,
right.
Just go for. So it's Richardson, then Rice. In terms of.
All right. Keenan Allen just went off.
No.
It's all right.
Where is DeAndre Hopkins? Did he go off yet?
No, he is not.
He's a player that we could probably push, but I really like. Although he may not, he might make it. He might make it.
Yeah, I kind of like Deontay Johnson a little better. I think
at a value.
What worries me about Hopkins is the fact that you're going to have Ridley there, and I think that's going to be a little bit problematic for him. Like I prefer Ridley, and it sounds like clearly you prefer Ridley over Hopkins as well, because you were talking about him as one of the players you're hoping who drops, right?
I prefer Hopkins over Ridley, but both of them are top 25 players in my projections, Dan.
Okay.
Like top 25 overall players. So yes.
Well, that's pretty darn solid there, Bradley.
I'm here for all of 10. It's passing volume, Dan. I projected that Tennessee is going to be one of the pass heaviest teams in the NFL, and with Brian Callahan,
that's quite possible. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
and if Hopkins gets 25, Ridley gets 22. We're looking at. We're looking at 47+% target share there, and Will Levis just going to air it out. No,
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, that was terrible.
Sean, who's sitting next to us in the 4-hole, only had one wide receiver up to this point. So, all right. So now we got to make choices. Looking at the wide receivers, I would definitely prefer Deontay Johnson or DeAndre Hopkins over Rashee Rice. Sorry, not sorry. Any thoughts on that?
Dan, I won't fight you on those. I mean,
okay.
my projections are Hopkins as a top 12 player, but look, we'll defer to that.
No, Hopkins is good. Hopkins is fine. You want to go Hopkins?
Yeah, let's go Hopkins.
Okay, done.
Let's go. Boom. Wide receiver 37. Here for that.
All right. And then I put a couple of upside options that I really, really like in the queue.
If Richardson comes back to us, it's going to be hard to not tap him, Dan.
This is true. And there's a very good chance
they have Mahomes and Hurts. That was the move to push Anthony Richardson.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I wasn't even thinking about Richardson there
because Richardson,
the fact that
his
Mahomes and Hurts
average
were gone.
Richardson's average draft position, Dan, over the last 3 days is quarterback 5, 59th overall.
Mm-hmm. Yes, nice.
So we'd get a real nice value on Anthony Richardson.
I think so.
I think that's the move, right?
Yeah, if he's there.
And Deontay Johnson went off.
Yep.
No.
Cortland Sutton, that's early.
It is early.
But then Mike Evans was really early too. So
I like Sutton. He's my wide receiver 21, but that's why I pounded the table more for Hopkins because I'm a believer in Hopkins.
Yeah, and Sutton scored a ton of touchdowns last year. Like if there's regression coming, it's going to be negative regression on touchdowns for Sutton. So okay, there we go. Yeah,
let's go.
JSN
Finally,
the one guy I might. So yeah, Anthony Richardson, he's the pick.
Yes, put it in, Dan. Oh, that feels amazing.
There we go. That's beautiful.
Let's go.
That's beautiful.
You gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love it. Woo. And now the pressure's off at quarterback, pressure's off at running back, pressure is off at wide receiver. We'll just take value at this point. We'll be keeping our pulse on the tight end spot. This is exciting. This is what we live for, Dan. Rashee Rice goes off right after us. You love to see it. You love to see. There's going to be some nice values that swing all the way back to us. I like the upside wide receivers that you put in the queue after Freiermuth and Goddard, Xavier Worthy and Rome Odunze. Those are, those fit really well with the type of build that we want to have, for our team. So because they're
probably will be gone, but that's all right. We can work around it. There are some other good wide receivers coming up.
Yeah, they're not starters for us, but they could be really, they could be spiking very nicely, later on. Who are some other players that I want to queue up? Okay, yeah. Jameson Williams is fine. Curtis Samuel is fine. Brian Thomas. We got to get some youth on this team, some youth. So yes. Xavier Worthy goes off. No surprise.
Yep.
Zach Reason leaning into the anchor running back build.
Yep. Yeah, he's having a nice draft, no doubt about it. I like
Danny also anchor running back. John and Gordy anchor running back. Yeah.
That's all right. Sooner or later, these guys are going to get tired of drafting wide receivers.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Well, who knows? But if they don't, we do have 2 flex positions, and we can throw running backs into those flexes. So, if they're gonna drop a batch of running back value into our lap, I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah, looking at the ADPs. Stroud is still on the board here at pick 709. That's pretty late for CJ Stroud. Someone's going to get a massive value with Stroud.
I like our Richardson pick better though.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
even if Stroud comes back to us, I still like our Richardson pick.
Yeah.
Not going to lie there.
I don't know, double tapping, power quarterback and then just saying we don't need a third.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to do it at that point. But my idea was more of the fact that I would take Richardson at what would we get him at, the 703 over Stroud at like the 808 9, which would be one pick before us.
Did we see Christian Watson go off? He went off a while ago, didn't he? No, he did. Yeah.
Watson went off a good while ago. Yep.
Terrible.
He was almost 2 rounds ago. Danny got him, of course.
Of course. Shout out to you, Danny.
Yeah, Danny. He's one of the nicest guys you will ever meet, but he will rip your lungs out on any draft. So beware.
Let's take a look. Ramondre Stevenson is still on the board here. Ramondre's ADP over the last 3 days has been player 72, RB20 overall, and we're at running back. He would be, if he selected, RB22. So a little bit of a value.
Yep.
Because we're at pick 84 right now for the record. So
I'm kind of thinking I think Ramondre will probably be gone, but I'll tell you what, if Brooks is there, I think that would fit really well with our build, because by the time we get Bijan and Derrick Henry on bye weeks in weeks 12 and 14, I would think Brooks would be pretty much up to full speed ahead. So if he lasts, that would be a fine third running back.
Yes. Jonathan Brooks, for what it's worth, is Jonathan Brooks is my 48th overall player and running back 14. All
right. Well, let's hope he makes it. And you see Danny taking the value there with both Ramondre and CJ Stroud. So he's continuing to clean up value on the end there.
And he stacks with Nico.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes a difficult place to get value is the 1 hole or the 12 hole, just because you're kind of almost forced to play defense rather than offense a lot of times. But Danny's been in a position where he's been able to go on offense more than he's had to play defense. So he's having a very, very nice draft down there.
Yes. DeAndre Swift goes off the board. Curtis Samuel goes off the board. We still have Kyler Murray and Joe Burrow quarterbacks on the board. Joe Burrow, ADP 79, QB 7, and he goes off. And Kyler Murray at 80, QB 8. That's where we're looking over the last 3 days. And right now we are at pick 89.
Yep.
Typically, I don't view players as quote unquote values until they're 12 spots or more, after ADP relative to. Wow, we see 4 straight running backs go off for Rob Cannon in the 8 hole. James Cook, Kenneth Walker, James Conner, and Raheem Mostert. Interesting build after starting Amon-Ra, Trey McBride, and Devontae Adams.
Yep. Interesting build indeed. I think, Bradley, if Brooks somehow makes it to us, I'm going to be pounding the table very hard for him.
I will not object. He's a great value. Objectively.
You will objectively not object.
Brooks I have projected for only 14 games.
There we went.
No.
That's all right.
Yeah. Dallas Goedert's a value, Dan.
Yeah, at this point, I'm okay clicking Dallas Goedert. He's not my favorite player, but I recognize what his potential is in this offense.
Or do we push him and try to
we
go
could.
Roma Dunze?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Dunze at all. If one of those other guys grabs Goddard, so be it. I'm fine.
Let's take Odunze if he's there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, there we go.
All right. Odunze is here. I love it. As you said, we need a little bit of Ute here.
We do. We need Ute.
Yes.
Rome
Hello, fellow
Odunze.
kids. We are taking mute.
We are applauding. We're in the GM room. We are giving each other high fives, pats on the back.
Here you go,
bro
Brad.
hugs. There we go. We got the.
I'm trying to give you the high five here. This works a lot better when we're side by side rather than
There we
top
go.
and bottom.
Yes,
But it's it's all
we're
right.
here for that. There we go.
We can do the Brady Bunch thing where I look up and you look down.
There we go, Dan. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. We're here for all of that. This is great. We got Roma Dunze. Dan, this means we have to get Roman Wilson later to rename our team the Roman Empire.
Yes.
So we got to make sure we get Roman Wilson later. Let's not forget. I'm gonna make sure we put him in our queue. Roman Wilson goes in the queue just for making sure that when it's the right time we get him.
Where do you have Dallas Goedert versus Tyler Conklin? Give me your tight end ranking there.
Goddard is my tight end 9. Conklin is my tight end 20.
20
in projections.
Ouch.
Yes, I don't hate him. That's above ADP, right?
I guess.
I don't know. Let me see. Where is Conklin he's tight end 18 technically on FFPC ADP,
Okay.
whatever. So it's in line. I'm not crazy. Not Patrick Mahomes wrote quarterback 15 crazy. But Dallas Goedert, I think, is a major.
Let me ask you this question. The value presented by Dallas Goedert here versus Tyler Conklin or somebody like that later versus Jameson Williams now and, getting Jameson Williams now. And then Conklin versus Dallas Goedert and whatever wide receiver you could get later.
Is it wild that I kind of want quarterback too?
Yeah, it is.
Like a Dak Prescott, but I think one of those guys will come back to us. I like Brian Robinson. He's my running back 20.
I think we push running back some more. I think it's Goddard or Jameson Williams, honestly.
Goddard is a real nice value. I think I think we go with Goddard. He's tight end 9 in my projection, tight end 12 in ADP, and he's tight end 13 here. We're getting him way after.
All right.
I know. I had to twist Dan's arm for Dallas Goedert.
I hate these mid-range tight ends. I just hate them.
Well, we're gonna get one at the end when we take Taysom Hill. So,
All right. All right.
Let me put Taysom in the queue so we don't forget, Dan, because
Lord hopefully Jameson Williams comes back to us.
That would be good. That would be very nice.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he will, but eventually these guys got to stop. These guys got to go away from wide receivers, so there is a chance at least.
There is a chance. Your boy Jordan Anderson's still out there. I know that you hate him, but he is my wide receiver 38.
How many games suspension are you factoring in?
Again, I don't think. No, I only have him missing 2 games. I have him projected to miss 2 games.
I think he's going to miss at least 3 with suspension, and then whatever your baseline is for wide receivers to miss games after that.
Look, 100 targets, 7 touchdowns, 700 yards. Would you be upset at that? I wouldn't be.
No, I mean it's fine. And where he would be falling to, I'd be okay with him. No doubt about that. All right. You want to
Dan, it's going to be really hard to not tap a player like Jaden Daniels though, too.
Oh God, if Jaden Daniels makes it back, we're all over that.
Let's just put some things in the queue, Dan.
Yep. Working on that.
There we go.
Can't believe the Twitter darling Chase Brown hasn't gone yet.
I threw Blake Corum in there as well.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Moss already went. I thought it was like, I thought you'd be like led away in handcuffs if you took Moss over Chase Brown after the last couple days on the X machine. It's I don't know. That's bold.
Very bold. Oh my goodness. Oh, I threw some players at the bottom of the queue as well.
Yep, saw that. I'm just going to move Roman Wilson and Taysom Hill down because we don't care about them till later. So we don't want any mistakes to happen.
No fat fingers, Dan.
No, definitely not. All right, there goes Robinson, running back 33. That's a nice value.
That is a nice value.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's going though, Tony Pollard
Pollard
would
is
also
a great value.
Would be someone be hard to pass up. Although these guys at the 11-12 only have 2 running backs each. So, oh well.
Yep. And Jamison Williams off the board at wide receiver 50. We are up to 50 wide receivers already. Not even through 9 rounds.
Yeah, some notable players not selected yet. Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, Tony Pollard, Brock Purdy, TJ Hawkinson. Oh, Daniels just went. That was a natural pick given that Mauricio did not yet take a quarterback.
And he's got McLaurin too, so that definitely makes sense.
It does make sense. All right, as Danny takes the 9-10 turn, we're going to take a short break, and you're going to hear about the Player Profiler Draft Kit from Matt Kelly.
Hey, it's the Podfather. I have great news. The Draft Kit is live. It is world famous. Why? Because it is the best resource for winning fantasy football championships that exists. There are rankings and cheat sheets for every format you can imagine. We have projections both at the team level and the player level. And wherever you are, you can click on a player, open them up, and see in-depth written analysis about what to expect in fantasy football from that player this year. And then you can click on the team, and you can get even more in-depth analysis, all the drivers of fantasy production, both in a positive and negative direction for that team, including a signature trend. And the graphics are incredible. So these team insights, they give you the team-level projections, the vacated targets, the vacated ARs. And we added a bunch of features. I mean, individual cheat sheets for Theo and Billy and Dario. So you could take your favorite analyst and download their personal draft cheat sheet. And then in the commissioners section, Memphis Young lays out everything you need to know to manage a league, the best minds in the industry contributing analysis. It's certainly not the most inexpensive draft kit on the market, but it is the best. Playerprofiler.com/draft kit, playerprofiler.com/draft kit. Go get it.
That's right. Go get the Player Profiler Draft Kit. My cheat sheet is also on there.
Yes. And as they say, draft your ass off.
That's the underdog, promo. But
yes, that's the Podfather tagline.
Yes. So there you go. Oh man. Looking at where we're going to be drafting is who are some players who haven't gone off yet? Jordan Love typically is the quarterback 10.
Yep.
Typically 90th overall.
I do not mind Love or Purdy if they make it back to us.
Yeah, Purdy is typically the quarterback 12. Both of these players, Jordan Love 90th overall and Purdy 103rd, and we're picking at 118. Love goes off, but Purdy is still very interesting. But if we take Caleb Williams, that would stack with Roma Dunze. Caleb Williams, 112th overall, quarterback 14. We might be able to push him around unless I don't see any stacking.
I would be inclined to push any quarterback around.
Yeah, we're gonna push you around like I will cut you down like I want to take you for granted.
God.
Wah wah. Shout out to you, Dan.
Wait, no, that's not me. That is not. My speed is more, Bachman Turner Overdrive. I'm into old people music.
Well, we got Brock Purdy that we have queued up, but Blake Corum goes off the board. We like Blake Corum here at Player Profile. That is we have to stay on brand, of course.
Oh yeah.
Tua goes off the board. Man, oh man, that's going to be hard to not tap Brock Purdy. I
think we got to push whatever quarterback we are thinking about. We got to push them around to the 11th.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. The three guys I like here: Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler, Jordan Addison. I would probably take Addison over Chandler. Marshawn Lloyd, I might take over Addison, but I can be talked out of that. Oh, there went Addison.
Addison goes off. So Lloyd or Chandler. Essentially, Dan, what I've been doing in this spot is I've been flipping a coin between Lloyd and Chandler in all of my drafts. So, you know what? It's your turn.
All right. We're gonna go Lloyd here.
Okay. Dan, the Minnesota Viking fan, picks the Green Bay Packer for the Green Bay Packer fan. Thank you for accommodating me, Dan. That is so kind of you.
I'm here for you, Bradley.
All right, we go Marshawn Lloyd. You love to see it.
Yep.
Lloyd typically goes as the running back 43 off of boards. We're pushing Purdy and Caleb Williams. That's what we want to do here. And then we'll figure out what other values can come back to us. Because I doubt both Purdy and Williams will come off at this spot.
That would be surprising, yes, with Hurts and Mahomes already on the other two teams.
Well, so Purdy is bye week 9. Richardson is bye week 14. Williams is bye week 7. So there's no conflicting bye weeks there.
Yep.
In terms of that, one other thing to keep in mind is that where is he?
All right. Purdy went off.
Purdy did go off. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
At what point does it make sense to take TJ Hawkinson, Dan? You're the Minnesota Vikings guy.
I mean, we're about there. If, if Caleb goes off or Chandler goes off, I think he's got to be one of the two players in consideration with the other, whoever's left.
Because he starts week 8, and this isn't, a playoff tournament type of thing. So
I honestly don't mind pushing quarterback here if you're okay with it. If Chandler makes it back to us, I think that probably makes us a stronger team because, I mean, I know I like Caleb, but I think we can get good enough quarterback play to go along with Richardson, whereas Chandler gives us something at running back that probably I think he adds more value to the team given our construction.
I'll take your look. You did Lloyd for me. I will give you Chandler. So let's do Ty
right.
Chandler.
Unless we think he can come back, but we could do Hawkinson too if you want to get crazy.
Let's push. Let's just push. I like the Ty Chandler pick.
Okay. Chandler it is.
Cool. And then we'll see what happens, Dan.
Yes, we will.
I'm going to scroll up and there we go. All right. So to recap for the viewers at home, we have 1 quarterback, 4 running backs. We have 5 wide receivers and a tight end. Anthony Richardson is our quarterback. Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler at running back. Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, DeAndre Hopkins, and Rome Odunze at wide receiver. And Dallas Goedert is our tight end through 11 rounds.
Yes. And Loserville does take a quarterback finally. He's the last person to grab a quarterback. 4 teams had 2 quarterbacks before he grabbed his first one, which is, honestly, can be a great way to play quarterback. I might have been pushing that had we not had such a value on Richardson.
Oh, Sunday Delivery Sean was upset at us back at 8:38, so we'll have to reel back the clock. And
I think that was the Richardson pick.
You think so?
Yep. Pretty sure. That would make a lot of sense.
Cool. I was just checking the chat. I really usually don't check the chat in these things.
No, there's generally not much need to, but.
All right, so Purdy is off. We're still waiting on Hawkinson. He's in the queue. I think pretty much he's a smash pick at his spot if we go, if he comes all the way back.
Yep. I threw a couple other tight ends in.
Did Musgrave go off? I'm interested in Musgrave.
He has not.
All right, Musgrave
I'm throwing a few players in the queue as well.
Man, you are really just sucking up to me here, Dan. All these Green Bay Packers you're putting in the queue. Goodness gracious.
Hey, in best ball, I definitely like the Packers. I've been a little more hesitant in managed redraft, where you have to decide which one of these guys to start every week. But because it's they've got the Packers are like the Borg at wide receiver. They just they keep coming and they just keep replicating, and you just I don't know how you try to keep up with them. I mean, the only thing you can do is try to introduce some sort of bug in the program and hope that that works for you.
Fair enough. Yeah, we're looking at we've got some options here, Dan. The board is at our feet right now because I feel like we're good at running back. We've got some good wide receivers. Our quarterback is set. We could be looking tight end here. Hawkinson,
yep.
Conklin, Henry, Musgrave are all in the queue for us at the legit, tight end position. So,
yep, lots and lots of options here. And I threw Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, and Matthew Stafford in as quarterbacks because I think all 3 of those guys make an excellent pairing with Anthony Richardson. There's no bye week issues. They're all more or less pocket passers. Probably Herbert less so than the others, but I mean, Herbert's got some sneaky running ability, and I do think the Chargers are probably going to find a way to get some of that out of him. So he's kind of a fun pick here if he comes back to us. Nope, and there he goes.
Nope. Fun for somebody else.
Fun for somebody else, indeed.
Yeah. Gus Edwards is still out there. He's dealing with he's had surgery this offseason, reportedly. Jim Harbaugh, in an interview recently, said he didn't know that Gus Edwards had surgery or was, cagey about it, or I don't know, Dan. This is a weird situation that it's been different. I run the news desk at Player Profiler, and I still can't get a good read on it. So, I
Harbaugh does not give up the injury information very easily, does he?
No. But is this a buy J.K. Dobbins moment?
I would say it's more of a buy Kamani Vidal, unless you are just really excited about the 2 weeks he'll get out of Dobbins before he rips up another tendon somewhere.
Oh, oops. Facts, though.
Facts. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, we've been staring down TJ Hawkinson for some time, and
I know. Yeah, if he comes back to us, that's gonna be an auto pick at this point.
Auto pick.
Yeah, because that's a potential late season hammer that we can put down. I mean, if Hawkinson was healthy, he would be one of the top 5 tight ends coming off the board, no doubt about it. Even in this environment.
Oh, he would have been arguably tight end 1.
Could have been. Yeah. I mean, you could throw Laporta, Kelsey, McBride, Hawkinson. He's going to be one of those 4.
Dan, reportedly, there is a wide receiver 3 for the Minnesota Vikings. Did you hear the news that came out today?
I might have missed that.
It was Jalen Naylor earning wide receiver 3 reps. So, we'll see. Are you a JJ McCarthy believer, Dan?
I have no idea. I believe.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It was too good to be true. You knew that.
It was not meant to be. Our championship team didn't need him, right?
Yeah. At this point, if Cousins makes it to us, I think that's a great pairing. Having Bijan and Cousins on the same team, if we wanted to, we could even swing around the corner and pick up Mooney. So I like Cousins a lot here if he's still on the board.
I'm on board with Kirk Cousins. Cousins is going off as the quarterback 18 at 131 overall. So this would be a nice little value, about a round value. And I think we go Cousins. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's a nice fit with Anthony Richardson.
Beautiful.
But anyway, getting back to your question about am I in on JJ McCarthy? I mean, yeah, I think I am. I think he's going to put up fantasy points. I don't know if I'm in on him for sure as the long-term starter in Minnesota. But I think when he starts making, when he makes starts, he's going to put up points. And that's basically what we care about in this game.
Yes, that is what we care about here.
And I think he would be a great pick to pair with these two, like late. Because the thing is, now we don't need to address quarterback until much later.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah. But is that that's actually our tight end though, so we can't call him quarterback.
That's true. It's true. He is our tight end. Hunter Henry is a nice little value here.
Yes.
So I'm happy if we want to click him if he makes it around the turn.
I'm in on that for sure.
Yeah, ADP value helps us with our tight end position. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Sometimes you got to just, be willing to click on the guys who, they're not sexy, but they get the job done.
Hunter Henry gives you some spike weeks here and there, and Drake May has got to be a better quarterback than whatever they were throwing on New England last year.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Jacoby Brissett as well is a better quarterback than whatever they were throwing out there last year.
Dan, do you know who the offensive coordinator is for the New England Patriots now?
Alex Van Pelt.
Yeah. Do you know who he was offensive coordinator with before?
Cleveland Browns.
While Jacoby Brissett was the 11-game starter.
Exactly.
So let's go, baby. David Njoku lived.
All right. Hunter Henry.
Welcome to the squad.
Lives on our team.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah, we're sitting great at all the positions right now. So, this puts us in a place where we can just kind of take best value. We can kind of look ahead to players down the board that we think are going to provide value that are going to fall to us. So, we have a lot of wiggle room right now.
And for, the listeners and viewers at home, we still have Roman Wilson and Taysom Hill in our queue just for kicks. There's going to be some, I'm throwing in some, maybe you clicked him.
Which guy?
Go up? Oh, Ray Davis went off the board. Audric
Estimate
went at the 13-5. Oh, baby. Let's go. Audric Estimate. I didn't think I would find a bigger Audric Estimate stand than me. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
He's been shooting up the draft boards pretty good. Commonly goes more in the 14th, 15th, but Bob Long, he takes him to go along with Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Nick Chubb. So he's got Jones and Montgomery early, and he's hoping for Chubb and Estime a little bit later, I think.
All right, so.
Oh yeah, I like some of these wide receivers you put in the queue.
Yeah, Dan, we need to get at least 2, maybe 3 of those guys.
We need to put like Adonai Mitchell at the top of the queue. Sorry, but with Anthony Richardson, this has got to happen.
I put him in the queue. I'm here for it, Dan.
Yes. Josh Downs probably won't make it back to us, but he'd be another one. Mooney, I'm putting in the queue because he totally fits with Cousins. So, yeah, we got a few options here. Yeah, Audric Estimate going before Kendre Miller. A week ago, that would have been probably heresy. Now it's probably the status quo going forward.
I threw Cordarrelle Patterson in the queue late just because.
Yes. You read my article, Brad.
I did read your article.
Got to like it. Yeah. Patterson is he's going to be a darn good kick returner, and he's probably going to get more touches than any of us want him to get in Pittsburgh.
Which is why we want to get him on our team. Let me scroll down and just see if there's anyone that's being forgotten about. You never know. What are your thoughts on Eric All coming back from the ACL tear? It's going to be forever, right?
Probably. I think Eric All is more of a dynasty
project. Yeah.
I think it's going to be really, Gesicki is the primary receiving tight end there. And, I have some question as to how much we're going to get out of that Cincinnati tight end. I mean,
Tanner Hudson was like a top 15 tight end for a few weeks, and he's
right. Yep. I hear you, but he's kind of in that range of, well, he's startable, but he's not really giving you a lot of juice. And I think that's going to be kind of the case for the Cincinnati tight end, at least for another year. Now, when Eric All gets up to speed, I might change that thought. But for now, with Gesicki and Hudson, I just don't see a league winner coming out of there for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny Smith, that's a pick I like, just because of where he went, who he's teamed up with. I mean, we're talking this team already has face melting speed, and then you throw Johnny Smith on there, who's very fast for a tight end, and the other players.
Jono went off.
Now. I know.
Ugh,
that's what I was saying.
terrible.
Yeah, it was a good pick. And with the other players really stressing the defense, I think that's going to give Jonnu a lot of room to work in the middle, and also they can do with, they can use some crazy stuff with him around the goal line. So I think he's going to be a fun player. I'm not guaranteeing that he's going to be a great value, but I think there's a good chance that he is a really good value.
Yeah, I think that could be a very interesting value. Agreed there. AD Mitchell, is.
I think we might want to try. I mean, if you want to double tap wide receiver. Oh, Mooney just went. Never mind. Yeah, I think it's got to be AD Mitchell here.
I'm here for that, Dan. We need some more Ute in our wide receiver room.
Yes, we do. Bring on the kids.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Hide your husbands, because they're getting everybody up in here.
All right, Landale. Adonai Mitchell. Welcome to the team.
Let's go, AD.
Wide receiver 67.
Oh!
I like that Jalen McMillan that you have in the queue, but I think we can push him some further.
For sure. We can push him. AD Mitchell is my wide receiver 58 in projections, just behind Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, ahead of Khalil Shakir in the projections. AD Mitchell, baby. 18% target share, 56 receptions, 640 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. Great value here. And stacks with Anthony Richardson.
Love it. All right. Why don't you take a look at the running backs that are left on the board? Who do you like? Because I think we might want to grab one more running back pretty soon here.
Chuba Hubbard's going to give us 4 weeks.
Right. Is that the 4 weeks we need, though?
Probably not. But
that's
look, Khalil Herbert is a player that if he gets cut or moved, I'm very in on Khalil Herbert or Braylon Allen. Those two, I think, are 2 running back targets we should make.
All right. I like Herbert as being our number 1 target here.
I'm happy with that.
Braylon Allen, it's an absolute crime against humanity in fantasy football that he ended up behind Breece Hall.
But here's the thing. If Breece Hall gets hurt, we get Bijan and then we get Braylon Allen.
I know. I'm just saying it's a crime against fantasy football that he gets stuck behind Breece Hall.
It's actually one of the reasons why I normally don't draft a lot of Bijan. Like I'm almost level with the field, but it's because I like taking Tyler Algier late and I don't like, double tapping them.
Right.
For that reason. So I don't know. It's a weird thought process, but maybe it makes sense to somebody.
It makes sense. I think Braylon Allen will probably make it back to the next pair of picks, maybe.
You want Khalil Herbert? Let's go Khalil Herbert here.
I love it. All right.
Running back 55. Ooh. Herbert is, let me pull him up here. My running back 45 in projection, assuming he does stay on the Bears even. 540 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 receptions, 100 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown.
Very nice.
It would be very nice. I do think we need to tap some more wide receivers, though.
Oh, yeah, we definitely do.
And there's some good ones out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we need probably one more quarterback, one more tight end. And
which one is it? What's Taysom Hill going to be to us there, Dan?
I don't know. He's going to be one of those.
There's not a second Taysom Hill that we could just double click both of them, and then we'll just say whatever happens.
Yeah, I think. I could almost see being okay at running back at this point.
Yeah, at this point we've got our two that we expect to just hold us down: Lloyd, Chandler, and then Khalil Herbert.
Right. So
we don't run into any bye week issues, right?
Right.
In terms of running back, so we should be okay there. Yeah, we've got 12, 14, 10, 6, 7. So
yeah,
maybe one more running back before the end. But
yeah, Braylon Allen, if he presents a value, I think might be worthwhile. But basically, if Bijan and Derrick Henry, if one of those guys goes down, we're
toast.
We're in trouble. If both of them go down, we're totally toast. And it doesn't matter how many other running backs we pick, probably. So I think, and the thing is, I think between Lloyd and Chandler and Herbert, we can cobble together a running back too if one of them goes down.
Yes.
So I'm not too worried if one goes down. If two goes down, we're already dead. So that doesn't really matter. So I think 0 to 1 running backs is the answer from here on out. Definitely 1 to 2 tight ends, 1 to 2 quarterbacks. I guess I would say 1 tight end, 1 quarterback. If we don't go Braylon Allen, then that frees us up to take your Taysom Hill, who could be a quarterback or tight end. And then we grab 2 more wide receivers.
Yes, we need 2 more wide receivers.
Okay, so 2 more wide receivers for sure. Potentially 1 more quarterback and 1 more tight end for sure. So that's 4 of our picks. And then we have 1 pick to play with.
Yeah, well, we've got our 2 final picks pretty much queued up. It's Roman Wilson, Taysom. and just for the listeners, for those who didn't hear our podcast before, Taysom Hill was not selected in any of the first 3. So he's probably, pretty safe to be taking as a last round selection.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So we don't have
hope like heck he switches over to tight end.
Yeah. We're anticipating that. That's a long time coming, as Taylor Swift says.
Does she?
It's been a long time coming now.
Who is Taylor Swift?
Travis Kelce's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes. That, multi-platinum, most popular singer in the world right now.
Does she do anything on her own, or is she just Travis Kelce's girlfriend?
She is touring about, a little bit right now, but my sister saw her last night in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Because, of course.
Okay. Well, that's quite a road trip for a concert.
Yeah. She was out there for work, but.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Just so happens to align with her 60-day work trip. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Work was the reason you went out there, Emma. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I really like those 2 or any of those 3 wide receivers in the first 5 picks as well. But we're going to be able to get one of them on the way back, I think.
Okay. So who do you want to take here?
I'd like to take Braylon Allen if he's here.
All right.
It seems the drumbeat has been extremely strong for him to be the RB2. They said he's looked great in camp. He's really young. He's strict handcuff at this spot. I don't believe that he's going to take anything meaningful away from Breece Hall, but in round 16, this is where you take your handcuff running backs that are the direct handcuff. And Braylon Allen crushed last year.
What if he turns into the 3rd down back?
I doubt that. Breece Hall is really good at catching passes.
But I mean, they've got to take Breece Hall off the field at some point.
Yeah, Braylon Allen's a dude. Let's
he is a dude.
A man's man. Yeah, let me pull up the Braylon Allen stats. Unless we get sniped here, that would be so anticlimactic here. talking about Braylon Allen for 5 minutes and then nothing. But
I threw Tyrone Tracy into the queue too, just for fun.
I don't hate it. He's getting first team snaps, but I don't think he's built to.
He's a converted receiver, so basically. All right, now we need to think about, do we want to push Braylon Allen, because 2 of the 3 wide receivers we were interested in just disappeared. I like Jalen McMillan a lot. I'm loving the buzz
I like
I'm
him too. Christ,
I think
losing Jermaine Burton and Troy Flanken, that sucked. Let's go Jalen McMillan. I'm that's fine.
It's time to take a stand, Bradley.
I'm okay with that. Yes, Jalen McMillan. They love him in Tampa, and he's really good at football.
Yes, he is, and he adds a little more ute to the wide receiver room as well.
Yes, Braylon Allen last year, 78 rush grade, 12 touchdowns, 982 yards on 181 attempts. Rushed for over 980 yards each of his 3 seasons at Wisconsin.
Kid's a stud.
He had 28 receptions on 30 targets.
I mean,
last year.
You're in Big Ten territory here, Bradley. You've seen him run.
He's 20.5 years old. Talk about bringing Ute to our team. There we go, Luke McCaffrey. There we go.
If you're a dynasty player, go out there and get you some Braylon Allen. Whatever it takes. I mean, I think it's probably going to eventually be worth it.
Yeah, come on, Braylon Allen.
There's a big wide receiver run here. I think we did the exact right thing taking Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, people are panicking.
I don't think he would have made it back to us.
I don't think he would have made it back. Yeah.
Yep. All right. 1 pick to go. 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31.
There we go. Welcome to the team, Braylon Allen.
All right. And the crowd goes wild. Braylon Allen. Okay, now we're definitely done at running back. So
yes, we're all set.
Sorry, Cordarrelle Patterson. Sorry, Tyrone Tracy. You guys are off the reservation. Sorry, Bucky Irving. You're also gone.
All right. We've got 3 picks left. Who's left at quarterback? It's Bryce Young, Drake May, JJ McCarthy.
I would, and Russell Wilson, if you're into that sort of thing.
I mean, we could tap Russell Wilson and Roman Wilson on the way back.
We could. I like JJ McCarthy here, though. I think he's got sneaky good talent with the legs, and he'll be a good enough thrower.
Yeah, and he has an early bye week, so
yes,
that's a plus, I think.
Yeah, it is, because really, when I think when they come out of the bye, there's a very good chance that JJ McCarthy will be starting for the Vikings.
Yes,
and we have Anthony Richardson with a week 14 bye and Kirk Cousins with a week 12 bye. So by the time we get to those byes, certainly JJ McCarthy should be starting by then. I mean, the Vikings do have to see what they have in them. They're not going to be playing Sam Darnold all year long, unless, of course, the Vikings somehow end up like 12-5 or something like that. And I'm hereby not forecasting that.
Well,
I'm just saying.
This is exciting. I think the pathway is for us to go McCarthy, then Roman Wilson, and then we'll take Taysom Hill with our last pick. Sounds great, Dan.
All right. So you have to be okay with the fact that we might have just Dallas Goedert and Hunter Henry as our tight ends.
Do they have overlapping bye weeks?
They do not. We have Goedert in 5 and Hunter Henry in 14.
I'm willing to take that risk.
Thin.
I'm willing to take that risk, Dan.
I would almost rather forego the Roman Wilson and get another tight end, and then, so JJ McCarthy, tight end, Taysom Hill.
If that's what you want to do, Dan, I'm okay with that.
It depends on who's there at tight end, but
who are the tight ends left? Juwan Johnson.
yeah,
I don't hate that.
I don't
Greg
hate that at all either.
Dulcich. Greg Dulcich.
Don't hate that.
I love that actually.
So
maybe we go Dulcich.
Possibilities there.
Dulcich, then Roman Wilson, because we got to keep the Rome brand, you know.
Yeah, I think I would go Juwan Johnson over Greg Dulcich just because of the fact that I think New Orleans is going to be they're short on options in the pass game, especially around the goal line. Juwan Johnson is basically like a big slot. Yes. I think there's a lot to be said for Johnson. I mean, I know he's got an injury right now, but he's already running. This is a tight end we're talking about. So
Juwan Johnson is my tight end 18 projected.
Oh, see, there you go. It's even better than Tyler Conklin, who went back in round 11.
39 for 525 and 5 touchdowns. That seems reasonable for Juwan Johnson.
Yeah. I think that's got to be if he lasts, he's our pick this round, and then we hit JJ McCarthy, and then we come back with either Taysom Hill or Roman Wilson.
Can't give me one or the other, Dan.
I can.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I like the DJ Chark pick late. That was nice. Chark is getting first team reps. They say he's going to be the starting X receiver for the Chargers.
Yeah, he could be. And honestly, the Adam Thielen pick isn't bad either. I mean, at that point in 1801, give me a guy who was a wide receiver 1 for half the year last year.
Yeah, jeez. He did fall off completely in the second half of the season. Oh, Rome Wilson goes off. No, boo. The crowd boos, but that allows us to take
this will be like the Roman Empire after they split, and you had the Eastern Roman Empire and the Western Roman Empire.
Juwan Johnson goes off.
Oh,
ouch!
Come on. All right, we're Dulcich goes off.
No. Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. All right. I'm willing to take a chance that McCarthy will come back to us. I think we'd take our best tight end or wide receiver.
Well, let me look at the wide receivers here.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Greg Dortch?
I don't mind him.
He's going to be the starting slot, and he's crushed when he's been the starter.
Yeah, that is very true. So, yeah. Tyler Boyd I have also on there because he's a starting slot in Tennessee. And he's a little bit of a handcuff to DeAndre Hopkins because if something goes wrong with Hopkins, then you've got Dortch because Dortch will, Tyler Boyd, because Tyler Boyd will absolutely get fed if Hopkins goes out. But I'm fine with either one.
Let's go Greg Dortch.
Okay.
I think his ceiling is just higher.
All right. Let's take McCarthy here then. I feel better pushing Dortch around than McCarthy.
Sounds good.
All right. So we got McCarthy.
Let's go McCarthy, and then we'll go Dortch, and then we'll finish with Taysom Hill.
I find it interesting that Justin Fields went off before Russell Wilson. That's fun. It's what we call shooting for upside.
Yes, Justin Fields.
All right, so we're gonna really play it thin tight end, we're going to go Hunter Henry and Dallas Goedert. And we're going to hope like hell that Taysom Hill ends up being a tight end.
Let's go, FFPC.
Do your
Come
magic.
through for us. Come through for us.
They haven't done anything controversial all year. So, I mean,
they're due.
Definitely.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
All right. Well, we're either getting Dortch or Boyd, so I'm happy here.
I'm fine with Boyd. I'm fine with it.
Either way. This is your pick, Bradley.
Oh gosh. Okay. Russ goes off.
Yes.
And I like Greg Dortch.
Okay. Do it. Wide receiver 87. I bet he finishes better than that.
Dortch, I don't know. My projections haven't included him as the full-time starter yet. So, did Yoshivas go off?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
And that's another good late pick. Also fun late picks like Paris Campbell. That's a fun one because he looks like the starting slot in Philadelphia, and nobody's taking him anywhere.
Yeah, because he's trash, Dan.
Bradley,
Paris Campbell is garbage.
do not harsh my buzz like this.
Last summer, people were hyping up Paris Campbell because he was. Which team was he on last year? The Giants.
Probably, I forget though.
Yeah, I think he was on the Giants, and people were like, "He's going to be the starter. He's going to be amazing. He's going to be blah blah blah." And I was like, "Look, in like his 40 games that he's played over 5 years, he's done nothing." I said essentially for him to have like the shift that we're expecting, he needs to like Cordero Patterson this thing, like completely out of nowhere, just like be used in a completely different way and prove that he's actually good.
Another fun one is Khalif Raymond. He will be the probably third wide receiver for the Lions, and he also could end up being a kick returner too. So
Oh yes, and punt returner. He's very fast.
Yes, he is. And Jalen McMillan, who we took, is right now atop the Tampa Bay punt returner depth chart. So that's a good thing for us too.
You love to see it.
You do.
You love to see it. Well, everyone, make sure that you're checking out Stack Hunters, 8 p.m. Eastern. This was recorded on Sunday, July 28th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. This was the League number 4, Pros versus Joes, sponsored by the FFPC Moonshine League, brought to you by, organized by Fantasy Mojo. And shout out to Darren Armani. We love Darren and his tools and his insight. And we've had him on the podcast here on Stack Hunters before. So it's been a great time drafting with you, Dan. This is the championship team. Both Dan and I, pulled off, 13th and 14th last year in this tournament. So with our powers combined, Greg Dortch will lead us to victory. We're
going to be there. All right. We're coming around on the top round. Oh, Tucker Kraft. He was my late in tight end hero in case all else failed.
In case Taysom Hill gets selected.
Yes. Now we're down to Jatavian Sanders and Davis Allen.
And I don't hate either of those. Jatavian Sanders, I think, has the pathway to win the job. Mm-hmm. Tommy Tremble's not very good. We've had years to figure that out
right now.
Oh, he's hurt? Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's anything major, but anything that gets him off the practice field for a while is probably going to be good for Jatavian Sanders. Not that I'm wishing anything bad on Tommy Tremble at all.
No, but that is the reality.
I'm just saying it clears a path a little bit.
It does clear a path, so we'll see what happens with whether we regret this last pick or not, Dad.
We'll find out.
We will find out. Time will tell. Time will tell.
That's no glory.
Look, we got to take chances, make mistakes, get messy. Jatavian Sanders goes off anyways.
And now it's down to Davis Allen and Taysom Hill.
Are there any other tight ends that are out there that I would have even considered?
I guess you could probably go Everett or Disley. Those would probably be my next two.
Disley.
Brevin Jordan, that would be my hero pick from,
All right, Dan.
The top rope. It's got to be Taysom Hill here, right?
Can I do the honors?
Do it. There we go.
There we go, baby. You love to see it. There we go. Oh, fantastic. We close out the draft with Taysom Hill as a quarterback, our fourth quarterback, anticipating that he will be a tight end when it's all said and done.
Either that or Anthony Richardson's going to have to switch over, man. One of the two.
One of the two. Yeah, Anthony Richardson as linebacker, we get IDP points,
Right, yes.
That's how it works.
No, Anthony Richardson, he could be a tight end and like a jumbo safety, one of those safety linebacker hybrids.
We're here for that.
Yes.
Oh, man. Oh. Well, Dan, this was a lot of fun. We're going to recap the team for everybody. Anthony Richardson, Kirk Cousins, JJ McCarthy are our quarterbacks. Taysom Hill, technically a quarterback. However, we are drafting as though he is a tight end or will be switching over. This is not, insider knowledge. This is just Bradley being, pig-headed and bold and full of himself, and Dad permitting it. Our running backs, on the other hand, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler, Khalil Herbert, Braylon Allen, and then at wide receiver, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, DeAndre Hopkins, Rome Odunze, Adonai Mitchell, Jalen McMillan, and Greg the Leg Dortch at tight end, Dallas Goedert, Hunter Henry. Dan, how would you grade our team?
I think this is a solid. I'm going to give it a B plus. I can't give it an A because the Henry fumble by me, that was not good, but we made it work, and we got sniped a few times where, if another player had lasted another pick or two, I think this could have been an A team, but I still think it's a solid B plus. And as I'm looking at the rest of the league, a B plus might be good enough to win this league. Yeah.
If you were to pick one other team who did really well in this draft, just initial vibes, I mean, Danny's still at the top near it, right?
Yeah, Danny at Team 12 looks really, really good. I think JJ Zachariason also did really well. I like his team a lot. He's got a very nice team, very well constructed.
Yeah, the only one that I think I'm kicking myself over is Roman Wilson, round 18, of course, not coming back to us.
Yeah, well,
that's okay.
Yeah, we got Greg Dortch. We can live without Roman Wilson,
We are happy with Greg Dortch. Dan, it's always great drafting with you. This will be dropping on Thursday, August 1st. So check that out. I'm going to post the podcast later on throughout the week, so that the podcast will actually be dropping before the video, but that's okay. For those who subscribe to the podcast, you'll be able to get sneak preview of that. Nevertheless, thanks everyone. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, good luck in the best ball streets, everybody.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. It's important to me that all of our media be free. This is only possible because of you allowing a true independent sports media enterprise to thrive unlike any other in the business. So please subscribe to the All In Package to continue to make all this possible, to ensure that all of our stats, information, data, content is available to you, especially you, the people that get the site and get the show.